Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? I hope you are great wherever you are. I hope things are awesome. I hope that today's presidential inauguration does not mean that you are face down drunk in a gutter somewhere, because that'd be miserable. I'm not miserable. Man, this week was crappy, and you guys noticed it, I'm sure, if you watch the videos. Like, I just wasn't feeling good. I feel great today, though. Today is much better. Way better. That's good. Because I actually have, like, a lot of stuff that needs to get done this weekend. So it's good to have energy, but it's late right now. This video is going to be up late because I have to do a little bit of editing to this episode, and I'll show you that in a second. But also because I had to do some parenting after work and all that, and I would love to blame it on parenting, but the truth is I'm on book 7 of the Dark Tower series, and so that we'll probably have a conversation, like a wrap-up conversation about the Dark Tower series next week. And just as a precursor, book 7 moves at roughly 600% the pace of the rest of the series. Like, you could read the first book and the last book, and you'd be missing story, but I don't think any of it would matter, honestly. Like, anyway, the point is, more happens in book 7 than the rest of the series put together. So, today's Friend Friday. I said it. I'm going to do it. I've been putting it off because I've had other things to talk about. I just want to talk about it. I want to talk about you guys because you have given me hope and love and joy and everything this week, even though I was having a bad week. And for that, I sincerely appreciate you. Guess what? So I'm going to go back. I used to try to use OneNote, and I failed miserably at using it. And so I switched to Google Notes or Google Keep, and it works. But for what I needed on this show, I would always print out your guys' tweets or Facebook posts or whatever. Or, going back a few weeks, I would handwrite them on index cards because I don't have a printer here. So I'm switching over to using OneNote. This way, I have to capture your tweets and stuff anyway to overlay it down here. I figure I'll just slap it in OneNote, and then I've got it on my tablet. Here we go. So here it is. I asked for you to tell us, the Shed family, a little bit. Good thing there's not coffee in that anymore. To tell the Shed family a little bit about who you are, and what brings you to the show, or whatever you wanted to share. Because I feel like we actually have like a little tiny internet community. This like little nook. There's a dance going on over here, and we're the kids hanging out, just talking to each other, right? I don't know. So, a good deal of you sent in some information for me, so I wanted to share that with you, because that was the point of this. April O'Neill says, I hope I didn't miss out on the cut for this. I'm a friend of the show, but I've been a friend of Chevee's so much longer, 31 years to be exact. To tell about me, I'm a gamer, cosplayer, WV-loving girl that works for Pitt. That's a problem. 31 years. I'm not gonna lie, April. I don't remember that. I know we went to school together, but I didn't know we'd been in school together that long. I remember really becoming friends with you in high school in civics, was it? We bonded over hockey. I guess we were friends before that. My whole childhood is like a whole. But April and I have been friends at least since high school. But according to her, it was well before high school. So I guess we went to grade school together. Sorry. So thank you for watching, April. She watches and comments quite a bit. So thank you very much. Yeah. Dave Nighthawk, Gamers on Games. We are a tabletop gaming vidcast on YouTube, like you. Thanks, Dave. So, go check them out if you're into tabletop gaming. Gamers on Games. Yeah. Sam, I don't know how to say your last name, so I'm going to attempt it, and you're probably going to tell me I'm right or wrong, so please do. I'm going to guess your last name is Forsyth. Forsyth? I don't know how to say it. Sam comments a lot and sends in emails, and has been a very, very active member of the community. So thank you so much, Sam. Sam is the same age as me, from Lenovia, Michigan. He has a wife, 7-year-old son, a 6-year-old daughter. So our kids are close. Guess what he does for a living? He's in IT, a healthcare data analytics company. I'm a data management content specialist. Data management content specialist. Like that sounds like a really weird way of saying database manager. Whatever. I love reading, writing, playing, listening to music. I play a few instruments and sing. Writing songs. I also love baseball. Avid fan of the Tigers. I'm also very snobby and stuck-up craft beer enthusiast. Very cool. Oh, he asked me a question. My question for you, if you feel like answering on your show at some point, I understand you are a gamer, and in particular a board game enthusiast. Putting aside all the super clever and interesting and complex games that board game enthusiasts come to discover and love, there are tons of those, what do you think is the best classic board game? Well, he put an asterisk there. By whatever standards usually used to judge games. By whatever standards usually used. Well, my favorite game ever is Acquire, and Acquire came out in 1959 or something like that. So technically Acquire is a classic game, but I think you were going for the more like mass market classic, like the Monopolies and this stuff. What is the best is extremely subjective. For me, it's Clue. Clue is my all-time favorite classic, and I own pretty much every edition of Clue that's ever been printed, except for all the weird, like Harry Potter Clue. I don't have that. Just regular base Clue. I own most versions of it because I have some weird fascination with that game. Because it's a mind game. It's not so much a board game. It's playing the other players is a big part of that game, and I love things that do that. That being said, it's very hard for me to find anybody to play Clue with, simply because it is such a dated game, but also because the game doesn't last very long when I'm playing. But Clue, the card game, if you can find it, is really, really good. It's Clue in like 15 minutes. So there you go. Flappy Slap. Hey Chevee, I'm Robert from Missouri. Cool. My YouTube name is Flappy Slap. I'm pretty new to your show, but I subscribed a while back, and I'm happy I came back. Well, thank you, Robert. Sophomore in high school and actually trying to start a YouTube, and I'm sure you know how it's not easy, but it's fun. Yes, I do know that. It isn't easy, but it's also really fun. So everybody go check out Flappy Slap. I played baseball, and the season is just about to start. I'm so hyped for it, but it's a little bit about myself. I look forward to the videos to come. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I didn't know that I had any youth that watched this show. I told you yesterday I feel like I'm still 15, and I really do. And my kids think I'm a kid. My kids laugh at I'm a goofball, especially when the camera's off. My friends from game night will tell you that the person that I am at game night is very different from the person I am on camera. The person that I am on camera is I filter my mouth for one thing. I use what I call my mom speech. This would be like this. I don't say the bad words because I want the videos to be accessible. And yeah, it's the same way that I talk when I'm around my mother, but when I'm around adults, anyway. Okay, let's see. Coma. I'm not sure how she says it because she capitalizes it strangely. My real name is Cornelia. I'm in my middle 20s. I'm from and live in Australia. I study English and my first language, German. What? So you live in Australia, you're from Australia, live in Australia, but your first language is German? That's interesting. Austria! Fart, I'm an idiot. I thought that said Australia. I'm so sorry. It would make sense that your first language would be German if you live in Austria. It would not make sense for German to be your first language if you lived in Australia. Mate. Wow, I'm an idiot. Okay. I study because I'm currently writing my thesis in English about Doctor Who and morality. Interesting. I can see that. I would love to know what your thesis is. Please tell me. What is your thesis? Your thesis statement. Curious. I love to read and write. I even wanted to be an author at some point in my past, or an actor. I most wrote young adult fantasy stories, but writing for university kind of diminished, or rather exterminated, that passion of mine. I have that same problem. Anytime these hobbies that I've collected become work, I lose passion for them. That's part of the reason why I don't really ever want this show to be work, because I'll lose passion for it, and that would be extremely bad. But I have that same character flaw, I guess. Also, my rather newly found interest in sports constantly interferes, actively pursuing them since about 2013, running and muscle workout most of the time, but also tried climbing and bouldering. I love climbing and bouldering. If you ever find yourself in West Virginia, we have some amazing bouldering here. Like, amazing. Wrote blah blah blah. I'm the kind of human that likes cute things or romance novels, movies, but at the same time loves to watch horror, action, especially Marvel or science fiction movies, as well as brutal anime. I don't know why you put that in quotes. Or reading their manga version, example Berserk. I tend to be insecure, doubt myself too much, which hinders me to try out new things or to simply complete stuff. Yes. Yes. Preach on, sister woman. That is life in a nutshell right there. That is a problem that I believe we all face, but most of us don't admit it to ourselves. And it's something that we all have to learn how to overcome. So I'm glad that you know that about yourself, because you have time to work on it. You're only in your 20s. Let's do this. I discovered you only a few weeks ago, but really enjoy your talk show style format. And that is evidenced by, if you look at the last 3 weeks, Coma has commented on pretty much every single video. And followed me on Twitter and comments there. Super awesome. Thank you so much. I don't know why. It's just nice to listen to you, and your topics up to now are always interesting in some way or another. Up to now? Oh, snap. I had to start learning English at the age of 10 in school. I assumed that was a mandatory second language. That's interesting. And a second foreign language, French, was added at the age of 17. I am so sorry. French, Italian, Spanish, or Latin. Those are pretty much all the same thing. Very, very similar languages. I had to take 2 years of foreign language in high school, and that was it. That's all we had to take in America then. I think now there's more. Like, my daughter can take foreign language next year at grade 7, but it wasn't available to me until my sophomore year of high school. So grade, whatever the hell that is, 10, grade 10. And I think we only had to take 2 years. So foreign language isn't even really, what at that time was not really even a thing here. So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Cornelia, for checking in. I'm sorry that I thought you were Australian. Please forgive me. Josh King says, what can I say about myself? I usually don't talk about myself that much. Well, that says a lot, I think, about who you are. And personally, that's a good thing. I tend to talk too much about myself, and then I realize that I'm talking too much about myself, and I don't want to be narcissistic. Enjoy PC gaming, reading, hiking, building things, and I own a small IT shop. I should also mention that I'm also from West Virginia, same as you. We have had that discussion before, so yes. And yes, Josh, that is what you're supposed to be sending in. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for introducing yourselves. It's good to meet you through this weird platform. Only one of you I've ever met in person, and that's April. And we've lost contact over the years, but have recently rediscovered each other, and she lives not too far away. I could go see her if I had the gumption and the gas money to do it. But the rest of you, we've met through this show, and that blows my mind. Just the fact that we can connect on some sort of level. That's what it's all about for me. So thank you guys for introducing yourselves. Thanks for continuing to support the show and support us as a group that can have this weird little discussion every day. And yeah, thank you for coming to my shed every day with me and letting me tell you about things. This episode, I don't know what this is, but that's what it was. So thank you so much for being here as always. Thank you for liking and commenting and subscribing, and I'm gonna go finish this book because my brain is It just wants to finish. So let's get this out of the way. And then next week, we'll try to start off on a more positive note than this week. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from NationalGeographic.com. Who was the first president to visit a foreign country while in office? Teddy Roosevelt was the first president to travel abroad while in office. He visited the Panama Canal in 1906. In 1943, Franklin Roosevelt made the first presidential flight. Are you freaking kidding me? Richard Nixon was the first president to visit all 50s. 1943?